What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Deuce Show. And before I go any further, I have to start with this. Detroit basketball. Yes, sir. So, if you guys watched the game, you already know that the Pistons just pulled out their second straight win with a 112-102 win over the Charlotte Hornets tonight. And I got to tell you, man, this was a very interesting game. The Pistons definitely should have won this game tonight. Let me get that out the way. They should have won this game. And even though they did get a win, it could have been a little bit better of a win. But before I go any further, let me just give some shout outs to everybody who's here. MB Well, appreciate you guys. I know I usually do the forgot about Cade thing, but I wasn't able to do that this time. I didn't have my laptop with me, so I had to do it this way. But we're going to get through it anyway. I definitely will have it for the next episode, but we're going to get through this anyway. So, Nikki, what's going on? Yes, the Pistons did almost blow this game. We're going to get to that in just a second. So, as I mentioned, the Pistons did get a win in interesting fashion, right? Wasn't the best win. In my opinion, I'm just going to say this now. I think this was the worst win of the regular season. LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller were both out for today's game. And Cade also returned from his one-game absence with an ankle injury. So, and also something that we wanted to see, everybody wanted to see it, was Dennis Schroeder making his Pistons debut. And he did that tonight, and he played solid. We're going to get to that. King Tone was good. Carl, my dog, was good. Hey, we got something coming for you guys. Myself and Carl have something coming big for you guys. I'm going to get into that towards the end of the video. But for now, we are going to get into this game recap. So, like I mentioned, worst win of the season for our Pistons, right? A win is a win, right? You take it how you can get it. But this was not the best type of game, type of win you want to see from your team. I fully expected the Pistons to win this game. And though they got off to a great start, wonderful start, right? They did what I always talk about. They hit first. We always talk about that. And one thing they've allowed teams to do lately, though, unfortunately, is to get back into games. It's happened the past few wins here that they've allowed that to happen. And it happened again today. It happened against the Sixers last game. It happened against the Bulls a few games back. And it happened tonight. And this is why, guys, I'm always talking about the importance of playing 4 quarters, right? I always say, you're probably so tired of hearing me saying that, but now you see why it's true. You got to play 4 quarters. Can't play 3 quarters. Can't play one good half. You got to play a full 48 minutes of your brand of basketball. And in this game, we talked about good starts. The Pistons were up 30 points in this game. In the first half, they were up 30 points. And by the fourth quarter, they found themselves only up 2 points. And this is part of the growing pains that I've talked about. I've said all season long, we're going to see growing pains from this team. We're going to see them in losses, and we're going to see them in wins. It's always better to see them in wins, but they're still going to be there because a lot of these guys are young, and a lot of these guys have not been in situations multiple times. This is the first time we've probably seen this young team be up this much outside of the last game, be up 30 points and a half, right? So they have to continue to work on that. And while this team does have a very bright future, you got to remember that. How many of these young guys have had these huge leads in the first half? Think about the first half of the season. They've been trailing at halftime more than they've been winning at halftime. And we know the last few weeks they've really come on strong. But to start the season, when they were 0-4, to start the year, when they were 11-17, when JD was struggling, like they were down a lot of those games. So this is newness to them. Them being up this much. This is new. They probably were feeling themselves a little bit, especially now with having Schroeder back. They probably were feeling themselves a little bit tonight and last game, thinking they can just turn it on and turn it off whenever they want, right? That's what happens to young teams. Experienced teams don't do that. If experienced teams are up 30 at halftime, they're going to win by at least 20. At least 20. You know, they're not going to allow teams to get back into the game because they've been in situations, they've been in games like this already, where they understand that a team can come back into the game if you allow them to. These are all NBA players, right? So even though you may be better than them, if you take your foot off the gas and you lower your brand of basketball, it gives them confidence. And then shots stop falling. And that's when things start to go, can go weary for you. That's when momentum shifts. So I'm happy that they got this game. I'm happy they got a win, but they need to understand. And hopefully they learn this lesson tonight. You have to play 48 minutes. Anybody can come back and beat you. So thankfully they locked in toward the end of the game because they're a better team. The same way they did when they beat the Bulls, when they let the Bulls come back and they won the game, they were the better team. The same way against the Sixers, they were the better team and they let them come back, but they still won because they were the better team. So I really, really hope that this served as a wake-up call and a learning lesson for this team. All right. So I'm not going to hop on that too much. I just wanted to get that out the way because that's very, very important to say, because come playoff time, if you let a team come back into the game like that, you're not going to be able to just win on talent. You're going to have to win on execution. So it's in the playoffs, you're playing teams who execute better. That's why they're playoff teams. So lesson learned, hopefully. Let's move on to the next one and get another dub and learn from this lesson. Okay, so let's get to le bench. And let's start with our guy, Cade Cunningham, per usual. So tonight, Cade had 19 points, 12 assists, 10 boards, 1 steal, 1 block, 5 turnovers, 7 for 17 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3, 4 for 4 from the free throw line in 37 minutes. So, guys, Cade did not play an astronomical game. He didn't stuff the stat sheet. He didn't drop 38 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, all these different things, because he didn't have to. The only reason Cade played 37 minutes was because he had to come back into the game late to put this game away. But this game should have been over by the third quarter. And for most of this game, Cade was just orchestrating the offense. It's so nice to see Cade not have to have such of a high usage and not have to have the ball in his hands so much and not have to be on the floor so much. It's so nice to see that. Tonight, he ran the offense efficiently. He got others involved, and he got his own offense when it was there, right? He was a complete floor general. He had some lazy passes. He was also guilty of taking his foot off the gas, right? You got to call it honest. He took his foot off the gas, had some lazy passes, which led to an and one on their possession when they got the ball back. So got to work on that as a team. But overall tonight, it was just nice to see him not have to exert so much energy in a win, you know? And when things got tight in the fourth quarter, he settled things down and he helped the team, the Pistons, put the Hornets away. So that was good to see. But once again, the biggest thing for me is that Cade is not getting ran into the ground. He's not having to play so many minutes, to be on the floor so often, to be scoreboard watching, to be worried about having to get back into the game so soon because of who we have on this team now. And we're going to get to that later, right? We're going to get to that later. Let's move on. Excuse me. Let's get to Tobias Harris, man. Tobias Harris had 20 points, 4 boards, 1 assist on 9 for 13 shooting, 1 or 2 from 3, and 1 or 1 from the free throw line in 34 minutes. So once again, guys, another good game from Tobias Harris. This is the 4th or 5th game in a row now that I've said that. Tobias is really playing well. Early in this game, he was super aggressive. Super aggressive. I think not having Brandon Miller for this game made things a lot easier for him. The Hornets not having Brandon Miller made things a lot easier for him because I don't know who it was that was guarding him. His name flees me at the moment, but he was way too little. Way too little. And Tobias just early in this game took advantage of that matchup and was abusing that matchup in the post over and over and over and over again. He had 14 first quarter points. 14 first quarter points. 6 for 6 from the field in the first quarter. He couldn't be stopped. And he took full advantage of that matchup. So Tobias played a really solid game again. I gotta continue to give him credit because one of the biggest knocks on him has been peaks and valleys this season. Peaks and valleys, right? All season long, it's been peaks and valleys. Whether he struggling defensively or struggling offensively. But lately, the past 2 weeks, he's been balling. He has been balling. We can't really ask much more from Tobias Harris based on what we expected to get from him when he signed here. He is becoming the player that we wanted to see. I have no complaints. Again, he was a plus 20 tonight, guys. That is double anybody else on the team. Jalen Duren was second at plus 10. Tobias was a plus 20. So that tells me he is playing great team basketball. He's not just going to get in his own, but he's playing great defense. He's playing solid defense. He's getting on the boards. He's playing efficiently on the offensive end. 9 for 13 from the field, right? No missed free throws, 50% from 3. He balled. He balled. If he keeps this up, he can keep his spot in that starting lineup because he's playing great team basketball. Got to give him credit. Got to give him credit. For sure. Okay, let's move on because we got the Super Bowl later. I got to get through this. All right, so let's go to Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. had 8 points, 2 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 3 for 6 shooting, 2 for 4 from 3 in 30 minutes. So I know you guys may say, okay, he only had 8 points in 30 minutes. That's not good enough. He can't have 8 points in 30 minutes. But here's the thing, guys. Some people were saying that they wanted to see Schroeder starting in THJ's spot. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Defensively, what he brings to start the game and his shot making, offensively, what he brings to start the game is too valuable. It's too valuable. Tonight, once again, he had active hands, creating turnovers, which led to easy transition offense. And he is just a steady force as a shooting guard. And the reason you want to keep him in that starting lineup with Cade is because, obviously, for spacing, but you still need somebody to run the offense when Cade sits down. If you start Schroeder, you're defeating the purpose of the whole trade. Literally. That defeats the purpose of trading for him because what was the biggest need? What have I been saying for weeks? You can't run Cade into the ground because he is the only point guard who can run the offense efficiently and successfully. If you start Schroeder, you're starting both your point guards. And once again, now you don't have a point guard on your bench. You got to go to Sasser. You got to go to somebody, Beasley. That defeats the whole purpose. That is why you keep THJ in the starting lineup. You have enough offense in the starting lineup. You have enough consistency. You have enough of a steady presence in Cade. Cade can run the offense just fine with the guys on the court with him, with the spacers on the court with him. And THJ is a more consistent shooter than Schroeder. So why would you even, it makes no sense to put Schroeder in the starting lineup. Absolutely not. He is best suited off the bench. Off the bench. It just makes sense to do it that way. So THJ, he didn't have a great stat line, but for what this team needs from a fit standpoint, he absolutely has to stay at the 2-guard spot. He has to stay there. Has to stay there. So let's go to Asar Thompson, man. Asar Thompson balled again. 16 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, 7 for 9 shooting, 2 of 5 from the free throw line. Got to work on that. In 23 minutes. So only 23 minutes, and he had 16 points and 8 boards to go with 4 assists and 2 steals. Stat stuffer. Stat stuffer, man. And to start this game, we always talk about, like, with Tim Hardaway Jr., how, getting off to good starts, right? Getting off to good starts, knocking down shots, playing good defense. Asar Thompson, man, his ball pressure to start this game, the way he was getting up in the guys and just taking the ball away at half court was insane. The way he's able to just make plays, guys, the way he's able to impact the game if his shot is not falling, the way he's able to cut to the hoop, be a safety valve for Cade when he needs it. Just being active, just doing all the little things on both ends of the court, out of the pick and roll. He makes it so easy for guys like JD to find him because he cuts, because he understands you have a 2-on-1 now, right? Things like that, Asar understands. He has a very high IQ for somebody his age. To be in the second season and have missed so much time, he has a very high IQ, very high IQ basketball player, and he's able to make plays for others. So he is continuing to get better. Like I said before, had he not been off those 8 months, we will be talking about him, or not we, but everybody else will be talking about him the way they're talking about Amen Thompson, his brother. It'd be the same thing. Asar is just catching up now. And you're seeing how important he is to this team because he does so many impactful things outside of shooting the ball, outside of scoring. He's a great player. I love him on this team. I love his connectivity on this team. And I love the backbone defensively that he serves as. Let me take a pause and get to some of these comments. Dominic, what's up, bro? Love the energy in the first half, but the lackadaisical second half was upsetting. Need to keep the foot 100%. 100%. And hopefully this was a lesson that they learned because, once again, they have not been in situations like this a lot. They've been on the receiving end more times than not of these kind of games. They have not been a team that has been winning comfortably early in the game. So this was a lesson they had to learn. They had to learn this now. I'm glad they got it out the way. I'm glad they're getting these wins, like against Philly, against Chicago, against tonight. I'm glad they're learning these lessons and wins. But they have to learn the lesson. They cannot continue to make these mistakes because if they do, it's gonna come back to bite them in a major way. But like Carl said, they didn't fold. They didn't fold. They were the better team. They were the better team. And it seemed like late at the end of the game, Cade said, you know what? No, we're not losing this game, bro. We're better than them. They're down Brandon Miller, and they're down LaMelo. We're not losing this game. We're not going to let Seth Curry beat us. We're not going to let Miles Bridges beat us. And he took it upon himself, settled everything down, and got back to what they need to get back to. And they won the game. So once again, it's not a great win. It's the worst win of the season. A win is a win, but it's the worst win of the season. But at least it's not the worst loss of the season. Because had they lost this game, it would have been the worst loss of the season by far. By far. And we all would have been irritated. We all would have been going crazy in the comments. It would have been bad. It would have been all over ESPN, how they blew a 30-point lead, and we would have been on the wrong side of media attention again. So now we can move on, learn the lesson, keep going, right? Okay, so let's get back to the box score. And let's get to our last starter. Jalen Duren, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover, 6 for 10 shooting, 4 of 4 from the free throw line again in 31 minutes. How many guys were ready to trade this dude? I'm still dumbfounded by how many people, man, gave up on this dude so early in the season. It's kind of disgusting. It's kind of disgusting, man. It's crazy work how many people are crashing out over JD so early in the season. And now you're seeing he's one of the most important players to this team. By far. By far. It was getting very annoying hearing everybody say how bad of a player he is, or how he's overrated, how he doesn't care about basketball, he's lazy, yada, yada, yada. I'm tired of it. Stop it. The way he's playing now, the way he's played the last couple weeks, he's been one of the best players on this team. And tonight he showed it once again. He was everywhere. He was all over the boards. He was all over the boards. He ran the floor extremely well. He's been doing so many things on both ends of the court that have been just such a refreshing thing to see. And the way he's passing the ball now, his vision is rapidly improving. He showed flashes in his rookie season, but now you're seeing it consistently. His passing is rapidly getting better and better. I mentioned earlier with Asar, with cutting. JD's passing out of the pick and roll in that painted area. When Cade comes off the pick and JD sets a good screen, right? No offensive foul, no soft screen. He's looking like Isaiah Stewart now, setting screens. Real solid screen, being big, planting, not moving. The chemistry and timing with Cade is there, and he's cutting. And when he cuts and he's getting the ball, he's making the right pass out of the pick and roll, because Asar is either cutting to the basket or you've got a shooter in the corner. And he's making the right pass over and over and over again. That is why you don't trade a 21-year-old big with his ability. That is why. The same way you said with Cade early in the season, when Cade was having those 10-plus turnover games and everybody was ready to say he's not a point guard and all this stuff. The same way over the last few weeks, he's had 15 assists to 3 turnovers, 14 assists to 3 turnovers, 9 assists to 1 turnover. Tonight, he had another triple-double. With how many turnovers did Cade had tonight? Tonight, Cade had 5 turnovers. So it wasn't great, but he had 12 assists. So he had a 2-to-1 ratio. So my point is this. The same way Cade is protecting the basketball and being efficient and not turning the ball over is the same reason that you're seeing now JD progressing the way he is. And what the common denominator is that they're both getting more and more reps. They're both being given time to get more and more comfortable. Just like Cade, just like JD. Just because they're not excelling or progressing at the same rate doesn't mean they're not going to get there. That's why patience is so important. You can see JD getting more and more comfortable. You can see it. He just needed time. He just needed reps. When you see the defense react the same way over and over again, just like for Cade, just like with JD, now JD's catching the ball pick and roll, making the right pass. Time. Patience. That is why Trajan Langdon is a GM and we're not. Because he understands that. I made a video a few days ago detailing just that about JD. So check it out if you want more on that. But JD is going to be very, very good, guys. He's going to be a very, very big in this league. I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. Just give him time. And now you're seeing it. No more JD slander. No more JD slander. Has to stop. Has to stop, man. This boy is hooping. He is hooping. And he's 21 for the 1,000th time. He's 21 years old in his first season with the coach who is really grooming him the right way. Where's he going to be 2 years from now? When the chemistry with him and Cade continues to grow, as Cade continues to get better, as they both continue to see more defensive looks and get more reps and get more practices and have more conversations. Where are they going to be then? That is why you need patience, guys. You guys, not you guys, but a lot of you guys were way too knee-jerk reaction when it came to Jalen Duren. Can you imagine letting this guy go and watching him do what he's doing right now somewhere else? How sick would you be letting this 21-year-old go? Makes absolutely no sense. When he's in a rookie deal, making $4 million a year. What are you going to get for him? Is he right now worth more than $4 million, guys? If you could get a guy, if you could trade for a big at 21 who puts up 16 and 12 and 6 assists and 1 steal and shooting the way he does and making the plays he does, is he going to cost more than $4 million or no? Okay. Then stop with the JD slander. Stop it. I'm tired of it, man. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Okay. I'll leave it there, man. Y'all understand what I'm saying. You guys here understand what I'm saying. You get it. All right. Let's get to the bench, man, and then we'll call it a day. Okay. So let's start with Simone Fontecchio. He did not play well, guys. He did not play well. 0 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 0 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line or from the 3-point line in 14 minutes. So he didn't play great, guys. He wasn't. I mentioned before, if his shot's not falling, it's really not much that he's going to give you, right? He's not a playmaker. He's not a ball handler. And tonight, the shot wasn't falling. It's going to happen sometimes. I am a little bit concerned about him. I am a little bit concerned about Fontecchio. He just doesn't seem in rhythm. He just does not seem like he's in the best rhythm right now. I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't seem to be in sync. And now he's fouling. He's fouling unnecessarily. When the Pistons are in the penalty in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes to go, he's up into guys fouling. Like, bro, chill. We're already in the bonus. They're already in the bonus. Why are you fouling at half court? He just doesn't seem to be locked in right now. I don't know what's going on, but he seems to be affected by something. And tonight, he just didn't look good. So I don't know what that's going to mean for him long term, but he just didn't have a good game. I was hoping that, and I'm not giving up on him yet, because I did say last show that I do think that having a guy like Schroeder is going to help his game, because he's not going to have to put the ball on the floor as much, right? He can just catch and shoot, which is all I want to see him do. So hopefully he can get into a rhythm. Hopefully he can build some consistency and some chemistry with Schroeder. But right now he just looks out of sync. I got to call like I see it. He just looks out of sync. Okay, let's keep it moving. By the way, shout out to you, Donald. I appreciate you, man. And all you guys, everybody who's here, man, I appreciate y'all showing up and showing out as always. I got to give y'all love because y'all always give me love, right? Got to do that for you. Got to do that for you guys. I love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Monty just didn't hold Ivy back. Yes, exactly, Maurice. Exactly. And not even just those two. He held everybody back, guys. He held everybody back. It has to be clear as day now to everybody what the biggest reason was now for last season. When you see how well these guys are playing, and not even just how well they're playing, how hard they're playing. You see how much fun these guys are having now? Remember last year in the bench, before we even got to 28 games, when they showed Cade, when they were Pistons getting blew out, and they showed Cade, and Cade was just like this? Remember that? Remember that? You guys remember that? It looked like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. You could see it in his face. Not this year. These guys now, they believe. They believe they can be anybody because they believe that their coach is putting them in position to win every single night. It has been very few times this season when the Pistons have just come out very ill-prepared. It seems like coach always has them prepared, whether they win or lose. Early in the season, you can see guys were just learning how to play together. But the game plan seemed to always be there. The game plan seemed to always be there. You know? And that's the biggest difference for me this season and last season. That's why it's so obvious to me now that JB Bickerstaff is the biggest reason as to why this team is playing the way it is. I say that also because for much of this season, we have had to play without our second best player in Jaden, and we're still winning games. We were up 30 tonight. We were up 30 last game. Back-to-back games of being up 30 without Jaden. That is in no way, shape, or form a knock on Jaden because we were absolutely better with him on the floor. The point is that coach is putting these guys in the best position to be successful, and they see it. We're winning games. So guess what? Now they believe it. And as a result, they're going to play hard for him. That's why you have these guys in the locker room going crazy, happy, with the belt, looking like the Lions now post-game, right? It's contagious. These guys, when you win, everything gets better. When you're winning, everything is better. And these guys are winning. That's why you got guys like JD committing to the defensive end of the floor. Because he sees it's resulting in wins. That's the whole point. JB Bickerstaff is the most important piece to this team right now. He is the captain to the ship. Cade is the best player, right? But JB Bickerstaff is the captain of this ship. He is what makes everything go. 100%. Got to give him credit, man. Dwayne said we bite kneecaps. Exactly. Well, what's good, bro? I am turned up. I'm turned up, man. I'm all the way turned up. It's not even Super Bowl time yet. It's not even Kendrick time yet, but I'm all the way turned up. But tonight, the Hornets show did not like us, bro. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. Let's keep it rolling. So that was Fontecchio, man. Hopefully he can get it together. All right. Ron Holland, y'all. Ron Holland, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover on 4 for 9 shooting, 1 for 6 from 3 in 14 minutes. So he didn't shoot great, all right? All of his missed shots were from 3. He made 1, but the 4 for 9 was the 5 threes he missed. And that's okay. You know why? Because the difference between Ron and Fontecchio, unfortunately, is that Ron can impact the game in other ways outside of just shooting the basketball. That's the biggest difference. Ron Holland is a certified doggy. He's a certified dog, y'all. I love watching Ron Holland play, man. He is so fun to watch. Ron Holland reminds me of okay, don't take it the wrong way, but he reminds me of Dennis Rodman with offense. I'm not saying he is Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman had 34 rebounds in a game. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the way he gives his body up, the way he impacts winning, the way he goes to the floor, the way he turns guys over, the way he affects shots at the rim, the way he cuts to the back. Like he's just everywhere. He's just everywhere. He's a Devin. Yes, he is a pit bull. Well said. He's a pit bull. That is exactly what he is. And he is all for the smoke, man. It's funny. He looks for smoke. You would think he's a chain smoker because he is looking for the smoke. There was a play when Cade got fouled. They didn't call it. And Cade is yapping at the defender who fouled him. And they're talking back and forth. And you can see Ryan in the background just lurking like, just waiting to see if something's going to happen. Just waiting, almost hoping that something's going to happen. If you go back and watch, I'll post it on my YouTube channel. You guys can go look at it. But he literally was just sitting there waiting like this. Just waiting to see if my man was going to pop off at Cade. I love Ron Holland, man. As a rookie, man, the things that he's doing as a rookie is insane. He knows he belongs in this league already. There is no way any of us thought that when we drafted Ron Holland at 5, he'd be doing this. The things that he was doing 20 games into the regular season, I was hoping to see by year's end, by game 82. He's so far ahead of where I thought he would be. He is so far ahead of what I thought he would be. And that just makes me so excited about where he's going to be. His ceiling is way higher than I ever thought. I got to say it. I did not think Ron Holland was going to be this good. If you say different, you are capping. I'm sorry. Unless you know him or you're in his camp or you're his father, who I have a lot of respect for, Ron Holland Sr., bro, you gave us a certified dog, bro. Both of you guys, both of his parents gave us a certified dog. And we are ever appreciative of somebody like Trajan Langdon, Nikki, for going and getting him and not getting his teammate, Matas Buzelis. No shade, but Ron Holland is better. I wanted Matas Buzelis. That's who I wanted for the Bulls. We just saw him a few games ago. Ron severely outplayed him. He's better. Ron's better. He's more impactful. And he's raw. That's the thing. He's raw. And he's still extremely effective just off of his raw ability. Once he is able to polish his game, he wants to model his game, he said, after Jaylen Brown. Man, if he becomes anything close to that, watch out. Watch out. This boy, he is a winner. Like, I know I'm raving over Ryan right now, but he deserves it. He deserves every bit of it. And so does Trajan Langdon for going and seeing what nobody else saw. Tara, thank you. You said it. You hit it on the head. And Derek, you did too. He has exceeded my expectations on defense, but I thought that's fair. That's fair. I honestly didn't know what to expect, guys, because to be real, I didn't really follow him. Like I said, he wasn't really touted the same way his teammate was. Matas Buzelis was really getting all the attention. And that's my fault. I didn't do my homework properly on Ron. That's mine. That's my L. I'm holding that. You know what I'm saying? But he has been a pleasant surprise. Pleasant surprise, man. I am so happy. Yes, I can see Jimmy. I've said Jimmy. Chicago Jimmy though, Devin, right? Chicago Jimmy. That's what I see right now with Ron. I see Chicago Jimmy Butler when he was playing with D Rose, with Joakim Noah, with Kirk Heinrich, with Luol Deng. That team. That's the Jimmy I see right now. That's the Jimmy I see. Yes, that's the Jimmy I see right now, bro. I think we're all seeing the same things, guys. If we get anything close to that, either one of those guys, whether it's Jaylen Brown or Jimmy Butler, watch out. To go to Jalen Duren, who's playing the way he is and growing the way he is, and Nassar Thompson, who is going to become a star Thompson nationally soon, and we still don't have Jaden Ivey back, man. I'm telling y'all. I don't know if y'all really understand what we're seeing right now. This is going to be a very, very, very fun team to watch. Not just the second half of the season, but going forward. If we can find a way to keep these guys together, if we can find a way for these guys to have the same mindset as Malik Beasley, who's saying, don't trade me. Malik Beasley ain't been here 50 games, and he's already saying, don't trade me. What does that say about the culture? What does that say about the culture? This is not Malik Beasley's first team to where this is all he knows. And he's like, oh, I love it here. He has been with LA. He's been with Milwaukee. He's been with Minnesota. He's been around the block. And he's telling Detroit, please don't trade me. What in the world does that say about the culture? That is a great sign. And that gives me confidence that our younger guys are going to buy in and want to be here too. The Pistons are going to be very, very fun to watch, guys. They're going to be very, very, very fun to watch. And they're giving me 04 vibes. Save for the blown leads, because the 02 team did the same thing. The 03 team did the same thing. But those guys had more veterans. Those guys had Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton and Ben Wallace, who have been in the league for a while. And they had veterans. And they were still doing that at times, giving up leads. So this young team, that's to be expected. But you're seeing how good they can be. You're seeing how good they can. In every game, we're seeing more and more how good they could be. We still don't know what these guys' ceilings are yet, which is exactly why Trajan Langdon didn't trade any of them. Because he still understands he has to see how good these guys can be and see what the team needs. So you guys get it. Y'all get it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, man. So that was Ron. I just spent a long time on Ron Holland, but he deserved it. All right. Isaiah Stewart, man. Isaiah Stewart, once again, did not have a stuffed stat sheet, but he did what he usually does. Be Isaiah Stewart. He had 2 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, on 1 for 3 shooting, 0 for 2 from 3-point, in 17 minutes. So, solid game, right? Presence. It's all about presence for Isaiah Stewart. He was solid. He didn't do anything crazy. He played his game. He was physical. He attacked their glass. He created offensive possessions. He got tap outs. He played good individual defense. He does what Isaiah Stewart does. Mr. Consistent. Right? We have so many guys on this team now who are turning into just consistent role players. And that is how you win games. That's how you win playoff series. And that's how you win championships. When everybody buys in to being a star in their role. And he is a star in his role. Side note for Stu, really quick. I saw tonight he has his mouth guard. His mouth guard is pretty dope. He has a mouth guard that has his son's name on it. Rafa, R-A-F-A, R-A-F-A. It's the dopest mouth guard I've seen in a while. I thought that was pretty dope. Did anybody else see that? I saw that was pretty cool. But yeah, Stu was solid, man. He played a solid game. That's what Stu does. He always does his thing. Haywood says, 05 Pistons were just as good and should have won. Oh, man, don't get me started, Haywood. We going to say that for another day, bro. We going to say that for another day because I'll be here until the Super Bowl is over talking about that 05 season. And I don't want to do that to y'all or myself for that matter. All right, let's keep going. We got two more guys. Let's start with Malik Beasley, the man who put up a career high 36 points last game, the man who was snubbed from the three-point contest. What is the criteria for the three-point contest, you guys? What is the criteria? I don't know what it is. The two leading guys in three-pointers made are not even playing in the three-point contest. Malik Beasley is second. Anthony Edwards is first. Neither of them are going. What's the criteria? This should have been Beasley's event. And I am happy that Cade is there. I am very happy. Like I said last game, I'm very happy that Cade is there. Cade is getting the all-star treatment, right? He is getting the all-star treatment, and rightfully so, because he should have been getting it. We should have been winning enough for him to get it. But this should have been Beasley's event. He should have been going. It should have been at least Beasley, and then Beasley and Cade, right? Not taking nothing away from Cade. Two things can be true. You can be happy for Cade and sad for Beasley, and that's what I am. He should be there. But Beasley, to his credit, man, he's not going to complain. That's his guy. Cade is his guy. He's been gassing Cade up all year. All year. Whether it's interviews, whether it's social media, whether he's on Instagram recording himself as Cade is on NBA on TNT, happy for, that's his guy. So he's not salty. He's salty for himself because he takes pride in being able to shoot the basketball. He's salty with the members who chose. He ain't salty with Cade. So don't get that twisted. But all that being said, he should have been rewarded because we understand Cade just said that Beasley's the best shooter in the world. And we all know who Wardell Steph Curry is, right? His father was on the broadcast tonight. His brother was playing against us, trying to bring his team back against us. Steph Curry, best shooter of all time. But currently, right now, I have not seen anybody shooting the basketball better than Malik Beasley. I've been scanning the league all season. Consistently, Anthony Edwards has taken a lot more threes than Malik Beasley has. Anthony Edwards is not shooting the basketball nearly as well as Malik Beasley is. So I'm just saying, man, he should have got that call. Beasley absolutely should have got that call. Should have got that call, man. D. Davis, that's the crazy part, D. Davis. Off the bench. He's doing this off the bench. Ant-Man is getting 40-plus minutes a night. Beasley is coming in efficient. It's so many times I take the box score, and he's like 8 for 14 from 3. 7 for 12 from 3. 6 for 10 from 3. From 3, not 2, from 3. He should have got that nod, man. That's so terrible. With the Pistons playing the way they're playing right now, with them being resurgent, with Cade getting the media attention, with Asar going to the Rising Stars game, it should have been a shoe-in for Beasley to get to the three-point contest. Should have been a shoe-in. It's all good. It's okay. But speaking of Beasley, guys, I'm going to say this now. I have not seen anybody else say this yet. So if they have, my apologies for saying it. I'm not trying to copy. I'm not trying to do that. But I want to see, going forward, you know how we have the wave, right? When Beasley hits a three, guys, I want to see this from the crowd. After every three, I want everybody to stand up, and as they're cheering, I want to see this. Everybody should be hitting a shimmy after every three-pointer now. That would get the crowd into the game. That would do so much for the morale of this team. And it'd be fun. It'd be fun. Marvin, you said it? Okay, my bad, bro. I didn't see it. I just thought about it during the game. I'm like, man, that would be so dope, wouldn't it? That could be our thing. That could be what brings people to LCA. If they're watching the game and they're seeing everybody in the crowd going like this, that could be a Detroit thing. That could be a Detroit thing. And that's even more reason to keep him here. If he leaves, we're not doing this. You know what I'm saying? The culture's okay. Special, I didn't hear it. Okay, bet. I don't care who said it first. I just want us to do it. I think that would be so dope if that happens. It would just be so good. It would be so cool for our city. It'd be so cool, man. We gotta do that. Okay, let me get through these comments. Let me see what you guys think. Playoff game. It's gonna be exactly, Devin. Exactly. That'd be fun, right? That'd be fun. My city says MVP chance becoming yes. Yeah, man. Yeah, I love it. And it's a small thing, but I love how whenever you hear it, Cade makes a free throw. At the free throw line, it's when you hear it. And Cade makes a free throw every time. I hate when you hear MVP, doink. Just defeating the purpose and just killing the whole chant. But he makes it every time. Every time he makes a free throw. Just a small thing, but I noticed that too. Yeah, Threesley, Deuce, your next song. Ooh. Okay, Tone. Okay. All I'm gonna say, Tone, is watch out for my next music video. Me and Carl Collins are doing. That's all I'm gonna say. Me and Carl Collins are working on something. Watch out for my next video. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna shut up. But great minds, bro. Great minds. When I come home, I'm gonna do it, but I can't dance. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. Listen, it's guys on the Pistons bench who I can tell can't dance by how they do it. I saw who was that? Who was that I saw doing that for the Pacers? I saw somebody trying to do that for the Pacers, and they were doing it terribly. It just looked terrible. They were moving the arm. It's in the hips. For anybody who's seen Happy Gilmore, think about Chubbs Matthews. It's all in the hips. Yeah. It's all in the hips. Yeah. It's all in the hips. You ain't got to move your arm. It's all in the hips. I'll teach you, MB. Well, don't worry about it, bro. I got you. I tried the shimmy, and I think I blew my back out. Bro, it ain't that serious, Doug. But Doug, you have an excuse, brother. You told me last game you were 70. So the fact that you can still even try to do the shimmy, Doug, shout out to you. I hope I'm still on this planet at 70, let alone trying to do a shimmy. I'm just trying to do a gimme. Give me some food. So give me something. Like, I'm not even on that. So Doug, to you, shout out to you, bro. Like, you a real one, bro. I've been rocking with you for a minute. So yeah, go ahead and shimmy on, brother. Shimmy on, brother. All right, let me keep going, and then we'll get the rest of these guys. Deuce, we got to keep saying it too. Yeah, okay, Marvin, every video I'm going to say it. Every video I'm going to say it. You guys, every video, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Let's get the word out. Let's get the word out. I'm definitely going to have to go back home. Oh, come on, Dwayne. Come on, bro. Carl, shh. I know, I'm not going to say too much. I got you, MB. Well, I'm not the greatest rapper. I'm a singer, but I'll do what I can. Yes, it was Hallie. Yeah, it was Hallie. Marvin, thank you, bro. You always show up. You always clutch. Hallie made a 3 against us and started going like this. Wasn't even moving his hips or nothing. It was just, that's not how you do it, bro. Please stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Stop. Scotty Barnes, too. Same thing. Okay, guys. So if Halliburton and Scotty Barnes can do it, I promise you can do it. Because those guys have no rhythm. I saw them do, I do dance. Now, one thing I do is dance. I know about dancing and singing. Scotty Barnes can't dance a lick. Hallie can't dance a lick. So if they can't do it, I promise you guys, y'all will get it. It's all in the hips. Happy Gilmore. It's all in the hips. All right. So I got y'all. If you guys ever see me at LCA, look. If you ever see me at LCA, don't shout Deuce. Just go like this. And I'll know what's up. And then we can talk. All right. That's gonna be our thing. All right. Last comment. We really had to put this season in perspective. We went from being historically bad to being a playoff contender in 1 year, bro. My dog Will. Hey, by the way, guys, Will Black is one of my longtime friends. That's my brother right there. And that's a great comment. That is a great comment. This is year 1 with Coach Bickerstaff. And look what we're doing already. Come playoff time, guys, nobody is going to want to play us. If Jaden is able to get healthy, the same way we were saying if Aiden is able to get healthy for the Lions, if Jaden can get back before the season is over, and he can catch a rhythm, because it's going to take him a little time. He's been off for a while. He's going to have been off for a while when he comes back. If he can catch a rhythm, we can be one of those teams that's the perfect storm that we look back and say, man, this team next year, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary hours. So, Will, 100% great point, bro. You hit that on the head. Season 1, we're already doing this. Why Pistons hired you? Bro, hey, hit him up, man. Listen, I'm ready. They have, now to their credit, the Pistons have used my music as pregame warm-ups for the team. And the team has rocked with them, and I'm so appreciative to the Pistons for doing that, for DJ Chachi, my dog, for looking out, spinning my song, all that stuff. Destination Restoration. The top song you see, if you look to the right, where it says download my music, #1, Restoration, that's the song they played all season long. So shout out to the Pistons. Hopefully they can continue. We can keep something going from this season, next season. We'll see. But getting off topic, way off topic. I'm sorry. Last comment, and we'll get back to it. Derek said, old head moment. Okay, let me see. Back in the 87 playoffs, Danny Ainge used to mock Rodman for running up the floor, pumping his fists. Seeing Scotty Barnes and Halliburton mock the shimmy your mind. Oh, yeah. I feel you on that. But you know what, Derek? That's a great memory, bro. I vaguely remember. I don't really remember. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch that live. What you're saying, I'm not old enough for that. I was born in '86, so I don't remember watching that live. I did see highlights of that, but I didn't watch it live. But the good thing about that, Derek, is that what happened after that? What happened to '88? We beat them in '88. We won the championship in '89. Won the championship again in '90. So you know what? Let them go ahead. Let them go ahead. Because if history can repeat itself, they can do that all they want right now. But after that, we're going to be the last ones laughing. So, and I know my city, we should have won the '88 too, 100%. Isaiah's ankle, yeah, we should have won the '88 for sure. We definitely should have won that. It's okay though. It's okay. Once again, I'm not trying to be here all night. So y'all trying to bait me, man. I see y'all. All right. So let's get to a few more guys and then we'll get out of here. Okay. All right. So one more guy, actually, last guy, and I saved him for last. And you guys already know it's coming. Dennis Schroeder, man. Dennis Schroeder. Now listen, he didn't have a crazy stat line, right? His stat line was not crazy, but I was very encouraged by what I saw. I didn't expect a huge game from him. He literally was just getting his feet wet. He doesn't know his teammates yet, outside of Beasley, who we'll get to. He doesn't really know his teammates yet. He's trying to learn his guys. He hasn't played in a while, in a few days, right? He's been moved around. So I wasn't expecting him to just come in and just dominate off the bench. But you saw flashes. Once he starts to get chemistry and gets confidence and consistency with these guys and gets that consistent role, you saw early in this game how important he is going to be for this team. Let me ask you guys a question before I go any further about Schroeder. Who do you guys think is going to be the biggest beneficiary, player-wise, from having Schroeder on the floor? I'm asking you again. Who? And there is no right or wrong answer. I'm going to give you my answer, but I want to hear from you guys because I like talking to you guys about this. Question again. Who do you guys think is going to be the biggest beneficiary of Dennis Schroeder being on the court? Name one guy. Just give me one guy. Give me one guy. Sebastian says shooters. Okay, give me which shooter? Give me a guy. Okay, so Will says Sasser. Okay. Tara says Cade. Okay. K for show. Tech and Holland. K for show. Less pressure on ball. Ron. Tech. All of Tech. Okay. I like these answers. You know what's crazy about this, guys? The fact that there's so many different answers shows that you guys all understand how important one guy can be when he's the right guy, right? Because it's just one guy. You could easily say, oh, he's just a backup point guard. Not a big deal. We didn't go get a superstar. Not a big deal. Terrible trade deadline from Trajan Langdon. He didn't go get a superstar. But we have people saying Beasley, Ivy, Cade, Sasser, Holland, Fontecchio. You guys have basically named the entire bench, which is great. That's great because none of those answers are wrong. None of them are wrong. You know why? Because we didn't have a backup point guard at all to help any of those guys. That's why Beasley. That's why Sasser. That's why Cade when he came back. That's why Ivy. That's why Holland. That's why Fontecchio. That's why all those guys struggled when Cade sat down because we didn't have anybody to set those guys up. And we had Beasley trying to play point guard. We had Tobias trying to be the offensive hub. We had Asar trying to do too much outside of his scope. Now, we have a guy who can help all those other guys. So, guys, none of those answers are wrong. None of those answers are wrong because he's going to help all those guys. Fontecchio is not going to have to put the ball on the floor as much. Ron Holland, same thing. Going to get good quality shots. Beasley, going to get great shots. Let's pause. Beasley is going to be a great beneficiary, a huge beneficiary, because first of all, I just found this out, he and Schroeder go way back to high school. I didn't know they went back to high school. I knew they played together in LA, thanks to Devon and Bishop. Shout out to you. He actually was featured on as a guest last show. He said that Beasley and Schroeder played together at LA, and Schroeder would get Beasley open shots, and after Beasley knock it down, they both be doing this. He'd be right there with him. So watch for that. Watch for Schroeder doing this with Beasley after he gets Beasley open three, right? So that's going to be a huge beneficiary. But also, the person who I think, now that I've seen you guys' answers, the person who I think is going to benefit most, and I've seen you guys, a few of you guys have said it. Keith, you said it. Who else said it? Here's Johnny. You said it. Doug, you said it. Zoar, you said it. Shannon K, you said it. Tara, you said it. Wow. Y'all are smart, man. Like, there's no wrong answers, but it just shows how much you guys really see things the way I do sometimes. I think the biggest beneficiary of having Dennis Schroeder here is going to be the player who doesn't even play with him as much. It's going to be the player who probably plays with him the least out of the guys we mentioned. Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, in my opinion, is going to be the biggest beneficiary of having Dennis Schroeder on this team. Not on the court with him. But what happens when Cade sits down, guys? When Cade sits down, what have we said all season long? Since Jaden went down, that's the key. Since Jaden went down, what have we said has been the biggest problem when Cade sat down? Whatever lead we had that Cade helped to build with the starters, bye-bye. If we were down when Cade sat down, the game is over. Bye-bye. The lead balloons. If the game is tied, we're down when Cade comes back in. Bye-bye. When Cade is sitting down, he's scoreboard watching. He's watching the clock. He's trying to see how much time he can stay on the bench. He's trying to see how big the deficit can get to where he can get back in and help us win the game. Now, Cade can do this when he sits down. He can chill now. You saw Cade on the bench laughing tonight. He had to come back in late because the guys got comfortable. I get it. But lesson learned, right? Going forward, Cade is going to be able to chill and relax. He's not going to play 38 minutes a night. His usage is not going to be through the roof. You're going to see triple doubles that are much more modest, like this, like 19 points, 12 assists, and 10 boards. Not 35 points, 15 assists, and 15 boards, and 5 steals, and 3 blocks. In 38 minutes, you're not going to see that. You're not gonna see that because you have a point guard who is a fringe level starting point guard, if not a starting point guard, coming off your bench. So you don't lose anything. Cade is going to be so fresh for the fourth quarters. He's going to be so fresh come the end of the season. A few games back, when we lost to the Hawks, we were down by 1 point. Cade was in the game from the 9-minute mark to the end of the game. And he turned the ball over when we were down 1 point with 30 seconds to go. You know why? Because he was tired. He wasn't fresh. That's why. Now you can have Cade just relax. You can have him just chill. And he's going to be at his best now because when he comes back into the game, he's not stressed out. And be well. He's not stressed out when he's sitting. He's not stressed out when he comes back into the game. He doesn't have to feel like he has to do too much and turn the ball over because the Pistons have held the fort down while he's been out of the game. That is why Dennis Schroeder is so important to this team. More than anything else, in my opinion. You guys were all hitting it too. Nothing you guys said was wrong. Nothing. Every answer you guys gave was right because he's going to help all those guys too. But more than anybody, the guy who he doesn't play with is going to be so important. And honestly, that's why Trajan Langdon was so important to this team. That's why he's so important to this team. Because he went and got a guy who was on an expiring contract to fill a role for this season. Maybe longer, but for the time being, for this season only. He didn't go and get a CJ McCollum who still has years and years left on his deal. Because what that would do was get in the way of Jaden when Jaden comes back. If you get CJ McCollum, you're going to pay $33 million for a guy to come off your bench? Why? I'm definitely not sitting Jaden. After last year, I'm definitely not sitting Jaden again. So you basically will pay CJ McCollum $33 million to sit on your bench. You guys already complained about Tobias' $26 million as a starter. You're going to pay McCollum $33 million off the bench? Come on. So that's why getting a guy like Schroeder was so important. You have a guy who can fill the role until Jaden comes back. And when Jaden comes back, you can either have Schroeder be a depth piece, a safety valve at point guard, right? On a very friendly deal. And Jaden can come back and do his thing. And at times, Jaden can play with Schroeder. It's like, so Trajan Langdon cooked, guys. This is the perfect move. Perfect move. And on top of that, he didn't use any assets to go and get him. He used 1 second round pick and still had 2 left over that he created out of thin air from trades like KJ Martin, Josh Richardson, that he was only able to do because he was the only GM that had cap space in the league. Trajan Langdon is cooking, y'all. He was the only GM that had cap space. That's what enabled him to absorb contracts like KJ Martin and Josh Richardson to be able to get those second round picks with that. And then turn around and use those brand new second round picks to go get a guy like Schroeder for half a season while Jaden comes back. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. I hope you guys are seeing what he did. Like, it's literally perfect, man. Trajan Langdon absolutely cooked, man. This is exactly what we needed right now. For now and for long term. Genius. Genius. Genius, man. To be real, when the Celtics got Derek White to come off the bench, that's when the Celtics elevated. This move reminds me. Yes. Great comparison, Will. Great comparison. You need depth. You need depth. The only way you can have your second best player win finals MVP is if you have a deep team. I think we most would agree that Jason Tatum is better than Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's probably more clutch, right? He's a dog, right? He's got that instinct. But talent-wise, Jason Tatum is the guy. He didn't even win MVP the finals because they had guys like Jaylen Brown, Kristaps, Al Horford, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. Like, they were deep. That is what Trajan Langdon is trying to build here. And that's exactly what Will was talking about. That is exactly what Will was talking about. And that's exactly what the 04 Pistons had. That's exactly what the Bad Boys had. He's building the same thing. Him and JB Bickerstaff are on the same page. Trajan as far as how you build that roster, and JB as far as how you coach that roster. There's synergy from GM to coach to players. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. Absolutely beautiful, man. I am so excited. I've not been this excited about a Pistons team in 20 years, guys. 20 years. It's been that long since I've been that excited about a Pistons team. I'm so excited, man. So I know this game wasn't the best game, but like I said, this is a young team. The growing pains are gonna make mistakes. They got the win. They got the win. We're better than them. We beat them. Fine. Move on. Learn a lesson. Move on. So we're gonna end it there, guys. We know we got the bowl coming up in about an hour or two. It's gonna be fun, but I'm more excited about the Pistons than I am the Super Bowl for obvious reasons with the Lions not being there. But I just can't wait to see where this team goes. Come playoff time, I want to see where we finish as far as our seeding. Because we are in the 6th seed right now. Shout out to AB, Ashton. We are firmly in the 6th seed. And we can go higher. Honestly, guys, I may be wrong about this. But this could be poetic justice. Hear me out. Hear me out, guys. This could be poetic justice. This could really be poetic justice. Right now, there's a lot of games to go. A lot of games to go. Right now, we are in the 6th seed, right? We're in the 6th seed. Guess who's at 3? Guess who's at 3? It may not be who you think. Right now, unless something happened today with the standings, and they're all jumbled up. But right now, the Pacers are 3rd in the East, which would mean we could play them in the first round of the playoffs. If we could beat them in the playoffs, that would be poetic justice. They've beaten us the last few games. I just talked about Hallie, who can't dance, doing a shimmy with his arm, stiff as hell. I would love to play the Pacers in the first round. Okay, so Dwayne's saying right now that the Knicks are 3rd. Okay, just a few days ago, the Pacers were 3rd. They were 3rd. I would much rather play the Pacers than the Knicks, than the Bucks, than the Celtics, and the Cavs. For obvious reasons, but the biggest one being, I think we can beat them in the playoffs. I really think we can beat them in the playoffs. So we'll see. We're going to keep an eye on that. Hopefully, the Nets. You must be in the Knicks. The Knicks. Okay, I got you. But we'll see. We'll see, guys. I really hope that happens. That'd be fun to watch. So we're going to end it there. Been a great show. Appreciate you guys always showing love as you always do. I hope you guys are as excited as I am because things are looking really good right now for our team. Quickly. It's got Lions vibes as far as the turnaround so quickly. It's got Lions vibes. And all of our teams right now are on the up. The Lions, the Pistons, the Red Wings, and the Tigers. All 4 of our teams are looking to move up on the upward trajectory. So we'll see what happens, guys. But as always, man, I appreciate you guys showing love, man. I will be back here after, I forgot who we play next, but post-game, I'll look it up. I'll see what we got to play, and you guys can find me here, and hopefully I can find you right here after the game. So with that, I appreciate you guys hanging with your boy. And as always, Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
Rewind 2021. There was a parade in my city. #1 pick, dancing in the street. Everybody was hitting the grid. Kid arrived in the D, and it was live as can be. They can ball, but we didn't want Green, Mobley, or Scotty B. When he got hurt, everyone lost it. Storylines leaking, no faucet. Caught him wash when he broke his tibia. All the haters, time to get it ready, yeah. Everybody wanna be Skip Bayless. Wanna throw shade, okay, say less. Dudes went #1 for a reason. It'll click by the end of the season. When he wins most improved player. Gonna be a movie, here's the trailer. Don't say I didn't try to warn ya. Co-signed by Win Benyama. He was raised in Texas, but now he's Detroit flexing. Team USA, he was killing them. Got him effed up, let me quote Eminem. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Kate. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Kate. Forgot about Kate, they forgot about Kate. Forgot about how you forget about Kate.